mean, we probably should address where we've been.
Yes.
It will be no surprise to anybody that it was Sebastian's fault. Uh,
Whoa.
I think I think I can speak for you and just say what you've been up to. Sebastian has been exploring himself and mainly his body in the past 6 months. It's been 6 months.
About that.
That's crazy. In the past 6 months, Sebastian has turned 8 different sexual orientations.
Yeah, well, I'm obviously of the belief, politics aside, that there's only two, but I just kept interchanging between sexes. I'm a bloke again now, obviously, even though a lot of people tell me I'm quite feminine. Like these hands, my mates always take the piss out of me because apparently got woman hands. My
Really?
partner has bigger hands than me.
Whoa. Wow.
Um, but yeah, I was a gigolo in Ukraine for 6 months. I was just sort of interchanging. I thought, they're under a bit of a wartime climate at the moment. I thought the least I could do is I'm not really equipped as a feminine bloke to be out there in the war. So I thought, well, let's make them happy. Let's be a gigolo for 6 months, and
Oh, generous of you.
I know.
really, I'm a good guy.
Charity you're providing, really. That was not for you whatsoever. That was purely out of the goodness of your heart.
Oh, I hated it.
You donated your body. A brave soldier, you truly are. But anyhow, guys,
Drone footage on YouTube somewhere of a Russian drone. You can probably see me.
do your thing out in the open. You kept sending me footage, and I was like, please stop. It was like, oh, I live my best life. Wish you were here. I'm like, please, no, you should not wish I was here. But yeah, I'm happy to have you back. And here we are, ladies and gentlemen. Great to be back. It is the Len Sebastian Ever Simpsons podcast. We are still on the 36th season of The Simpsons. And we're jumping right back in with quite an exciting one. Always fun to do a Treehouse of Horror. So,
Oh yeah.
yeah.
I was very, very excited to watch this one.
Absolutely. It had been
I feel
so
like
long.
I needed it.
Absolutely. It had been so long that I forgot what the next episode was. And then when I saw it was Treehouse of Horror, I was like, fuck yeah. So, yeah, here we go. Let's just
And a
jump.
very, very weird one.
A very, very weird one. Yes, yeah, we'll get to it.
I know you're going to get into it, but I loved the opening credits as well. That was pretty nice.
Yeah.
Super fun. Yeah. Let's just jump in from there. Yeah, very weird one. Maybe it's a reference to something that I'm missing, but yeah, it was Los Simpsons. It was just like the kind of little opening, and it was like a Mexican Day of the Dead sort of animation of multiple Simpsons characters battling it out, and yeah, it was beautiful animation, really, really fun, different.
Cool.
Yeah, it wasn't like super Halloweeny or anything, but it was just a
Yeah, I
fun.
don't know what
The reference was really, I just
No.
enjoyed the fun of it, and yeah.
I mean, there wasn't a reference. Maybe there was experimenting with something, but if it was, because the animation was very specific, that it makes me think that maybe they were referencing something. But
Yeah.
if they were, it was totally lost on me. But yeah, regardless, it was super fun. Really, really fun opening. And then we jump into our first segment, the information rage. We're at a town hall meeting in Springfield at the beginning. Thanks to Lisa, the town is now providing free LED lights to every household. And the rich Texan is delighted. He says he's going to use all the money he saves to invest in louder bullets. And Sideshow Mel says this is a very progressive move. And the rich Texan is like, progressive? Well, now I hate it. he already shot his guns and the bullets go back into the gun. And the town starts erupting.
Simpsons always keeping it neutral on the political spectrum.
Oh, they're such geniuses with that. Yeah, like you have absolutely no idea what they're like. I would assume these LA writers, they're more left leaning, but I don't know. Yeah, I would assume, and also
Which is nice.
yeah, also there's so many writers. So there probably are people on some different political sides. Like there's that guy John Schwartzwelder who's he's written the most Simpsons episodes of anybody. He's quite a recluse, and like tweets I've seen by him and stuff, I feel like he's a Republican. But again, they're also smart comedy writers that you don't actually know. That's what Bill Burr says, like a genuinely good comedian. You should never know their politics.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
completely agree.
because they're not going on stage with an agenda, and they're able to see flaws on both sides and make fun of both sides.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and you're
really.
restricting your comedy as well to one half of an audience.
Yeah, totally. If you're like, I'm only going to make fun of the things that I know the left would be cool with me making fun of, and vice versa. You're massively restricting yourself in that regard, as an artist and a writer. Yeah. But yeah, the town starts erupting into an argument, and signs start appearing around the town. It's a very split feelings about these LED lights. The signs are all brilliant. I noted them all down. One was "Steer clear of my chandelier." Women's lights are human lights. Led me to the future. This is an LED. This is a LED light district. Come and unscrew me. And Lisa starts to wonder where all this rage is going to go. And we cut to Tox News. A reporter says that he's on news being like, "Oh, they're coming after our light bulbs. What's next? Your truck's testicles?" And then a red monster emerges from the sea, clearly a right-leaning monster, and he starts destroying mail-in ballots and the Center for Disease Control. And I immediately took note of like who the Republicans were, who were egging on the red monster. Interesting characters. It was Dr. Nick, Superintendent Chalmers, Lovejoy, Ned Flanders, Herman, Miss Skinner, Nelson's mom, Willie, Rainier Wolfcastle, and Mayor Quimby.
Yeah, it kind of makes sense.
They all make perfect sense, yeah. Rainier Wolfcastle was clever, I feel like that, because Rainier Wolfcastle is obviously Arnold Schwarzenegger, who still is a Republican, but was a political Republican when he was governor of California. Mayor Quimby was interesting. Character, clearly, and how they've developed him over the course of the show is clearly a Republican.
He's JFK.
But he was originally JFK, based off JFK, who is a Democrat, who was a Democrat. But yeah, obviously, how the character has evolved, you couldn't say that he's a Democrat. He's clearly a Republican. But yeah, and then a blue monster emerges from the sea and starts destroying boats of plastic straws. And I noted the liberals who were cheering him on: Comic Book Guy, Disco Stew, Cookie Kwan, Dredrick Tatum, Miss Hoover, and Rachel Payton, and they all made perfect sense. I have no qualms there. That was, yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, clearly liberals. Then the red monster starts destroying a gay steel mill, which is obviously a reference to homophobia, which I liked. Fantastic episode.
More such classes coming soon.
Indeed, yeah. Teaser for later. Then the blue monster starts destroying a fracking company, but he starts dividing up all of the trash into the correct bins. And then the blue attacks the red monster with liberal arts, and the red attacks back with book banning. And the blue uses snowflake breath. It's obviously like a kind of anime monster battle going on here. And the red hits back with Tim Allen DVDs. That's so dumb. And then Frank has a great idea. And he's like, I have a great idea. And like a light bulb pops over his head, but the light bulb is LED. He's like, well, that's just not the same. And then he invents a robot that can only be powered by togetherness. Because for the whole episode, we're seeing that Lisa is clearly leaning more on the left and Bart's leaning more on the right. Only be brought together by the robot can only work through togetherness, and a engineer sister and her Navy SEAL brother come to help, but then they get crushed by the Springfield S on the Hollywood sign, and Professor Frank is like, god damn it, it'll just have to be these twerps. And he gets Bart and Lisa to do it, but they're struggling to control the robot, and they end up scraping Otto. They step on Otto and start scraping him off like he's gum off the robot's foot. And then more monsters start to appear. They were all brilliant. The 4chan Saurus, Facebook Zilla, Mecha Reddit, and my favorite one, Rogan. Absolutely brilliant. I'm actually surprised that's the first time the show's ever referenced Joe Rogan.
Is it though?
I think so. I mean, as far
I
as I can
vaguely
tell.
remember an episode that there was actually like a Joe Rogan podcast, no?
Oh fuck no, you're totally right. Yeah, it
Yeah.
left my brain. You're totally right.
But the first time he's been referenced in like a actual referencey way rather than just playing a actual.
Yeah. Like in that episode, it would have made sense whether you know who Joe Rogan is or not. It's all kind of like spelled out for you, but that is like you have to understand it. All these monsters are attacking. Homer falls into the lard lad donut and he gets rolled down a hill. And he's like, "Oh, giant donut, I'm sorry I ate all your babies." And Bart and Lisa start laughing, and then they realize that if they can share a laugh, then they can work together. and they start giving the monsters nuggies with the robot, obviously the nuggies and purple nurples. Yeah, all the monsters start fleeing back to the sea, and Lisa informs the entire town that the only way to stop these monsters is to celebrate our differences, embrace what we have in common, and to defeat the echo chambers of social media and cable news. We then cut to 3 news cycles later. The monsters are back again. They're fighting each other. And great dialogue, I thought, at the end from Bart and Lisa.
Well, I guess civilization had a good run.
Did it?
Concert halls were nice.
Trampoline gyms.
Internet was a mistake, though.
Probably.
Got me thinking as well, like about whether we would be better off without the internet. Obviously, what we do right now wouldn't exist.
Impossible, yeah.
And I think we're blessed in the sense that like virtually everything I'm interested in stemmed from learning about on the internet.
True.
But then we're not blessed in the sense that information is too easy to retrieve, and we've lost the magic of. I always
Finding
use
stuff.
the example of like finding music. It seems
Yeah.
way more fun to me to go to a record store, put the headphones on, play a record, be like, that one sounds good. I'll get that one, bring it home. And it feels more like special and like secret.
Yeah, totally. That you're just discovering it. I mean, it's still nice to like find a new artist on Spotify or something like that. But I know what you mean. Like actually, like physically holding something that you actually have to go out and seek it rather than just having the convenience of being in your room. It's very true. Yeah, I was actually only listening to Matt Selman, the current showrunner, on a podcast the last day, and the interviewer asked him what like the big difference is between writing on the show now and writing on it when they did in the 90s. And he said, oh, it's the accessibility of information. Like, we started the show so long ago that there was a time where we literally had to go to the library across the road if we like needed like, you know, the accurate facts of something. His example was they had some joke where somebody was writing the fraction of pi on a chalkboard, and they needed to make sure it was exactly right, like, you know, 3.14 or something. So you had to go to the library and find a book on math fractions to make sure that they got that correct. Yeah, you know, whereas nowadays you just Google it and there it is for you straight away. And you know, obviously that is a massive time saver, but there is something nice and kind of magical, nostalgic to hear about him just having to go to a library and seek out a book that had that information.
Dig out these old newspapers and things to
Totally.
old stories. It's crazy.
Absolutely, and you're also definitely more guaranteed to actually retain the information when you have to go out and seek it, rather than if you look something up and Google it, you'll remember it for the time period that you need to remember it for, but it's going to go away pretty fast.
Agreed.
You know what I mean? Yeah. So obviously there's a convenience to it, and I wouldn't want it any other way, but it does make me nostalgic and in some ways jealous to hear about that period where people just have to go out and seek the information, you know. But yeah, it is what it is. The world is a crazy place. That's a controversial opinion from me there.
Oh, let's go.
Yeah, a hot one over here. Oh, just did a political Treehouse of Horror, so you know, feelings are coming out.
I think if I heard you right, you were just you basically just saying that you're pro-abortion. That's what it sounded like to me. I don't know if I'm getting too political.
Yeah, I'm wearing a red sweater, so.
Bro, you got blood on your
Never know.
hands.
Huh?
You got blood on your hands.
Blood in my hands, baby. Hey, let's keep things on either side. Hey, an Irish man and a British man can get along. It means that everything can be okay.
This podcast defies. We basically are single-handedly stopping the conflict between Ireland and
so.
England. Yeah.
Yes, this conflict defies expectations from 500 years ago.
Yeah.
That's for sure. If
And
you
I'm
told
sorry
somebody-
about that. I am sorry.
Oh, I appreciate it, man. I mean, it was.
I'm gonna take the knee.
Yes. No, it's much appreciated. Thank you. If you told our ancestors from 500 years ago that an Irishman and a British man would be doing a podcast together, well, firstly they would say, "What the fuck is a podcast?" But they,
The Simpsons.
well, yeah, what is the Simpsons? What is half of the things you just said? But they also wouldn't believe that the two of us were getting along and we managed to make things work out. So there's also that. Yeah.
We both like potatoes.
We don't like potatoes. We both like Guinness.
Yeah.
You actually got me into Guinness. That's
Can you believe that?
that's crazy.
That's ridiculous.
We've never
I got
spoken about
an
that.
Irishman into Guinness.
This bears context. So when I first started drinking, I didn't like Guinness because I'm sure anyone can relate to this. When you first start drinking, you don't really like the taste of alcohol, so you like something as sweet as possible. So like, you know, cider, It was pretty much a cider, or like a cocktail maybe. The first thing I ever had was Guinness. Like I wanted my first drink to be an Irish drink, but I didn't like it. And yeah, like like 5 or 6 years went by, and you and me went to see the Banshees of Inisherin together, and it's
Yeah, an Irish movie.
a fantastic film and one of my favorite movies ever. And the whole thing is like kind of a commercial for Guinness. And afterwards, you were like, I kind of fancy a Guinness after watching that. I was like, oh, nah, I don't like Guinness. But we ended up going to that gorgeous pub in Leicester
real gem.
Square. Yeah, that's still around. Waxy's Little Sister, great pub. And they do a fantastic Guinness there. And I drank it that evening, and I've been drinking it ever since.
I think
my
we
favourite
got
drink
very
now.
lucky.
Well, because they obviously are known for a good Guinness there. So you did have a
Yes.
really nice one. We were with
Absolutely.
one of my friends as well, Ian, right? With Ian?
Not that night, but we went there with him once. Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and yeah, it was great. I've been drinking Guinness ever since. And you're right. Yeah, we were lucky to go somewhere where there's a good Guinness. Because look, it is like what's the word? A misconception that there's no good Guinnesses in London. There's plenty of great Guinnesses in London, but yes, there are plenty of fucking shit ones too.
course.
I think if you go into a pub that is clearly very British, that's not a guarantee that it's going to be a bad Guinness. But if it's very British, that's a hint. And then if the bartender is like 20 and under, just don't order a Guinness.
And also just don't order it if it's the extra cold one.
Extra cold.
Yeah, it says Guinness extra cold.
I don't think I've had it.
Don't.
Is it bad?
Sometimes it's the only one they might have. You might have had it
Yeah.
before if you had a really cold Guinness. But
Right.
it just ruins it. But anyway,
Really? 'Cause Guinness is great. You want Guinness to be cold. I'm surprised to hear that.
I don't.
No, too
I
much.
want it to be like it's come out the fridge kind of thing, not cold.
Yeah, not ice cold. Yeah, okay,
Yeah.
fair enough.
Not like a
Interesting.
lager. But
Yeah.
anyway, I'm gonna add this to my recommendation of the week. If you live
yes.
in London, go to the pub near Leicester Square called Waxy's Little Sister.
It's great.
Go upstairs,
Yes.
go to the conveyor belt thing, write on
Yeah.
the note, one times
Right, yes.
Guinness,
Yeah.
roll it down, and they'll roll up the card machine, tap your card, roll it back down.
Oh yeah.
And you'll be fine. It's kind of long-winded. It might be quicker to go to the bar, but it's kind of magical to do
No,
that.
It's really nice. Yeah, it is actually such a nice experience. Yeah, I mean, but buy your regular Guinness at the bar first, then go to the bar, and then when you inevitably get another one, do that system. Hand down your empty pint glass and have a note for your new one. They give you the card machine and everything. It is a really fun experience. It feels like you're in the 1800s. It's
Yeah,
nice.
except card machines.
Well, yeah, of course. Yeah, it's really nice. The Stunning Guinness is a nice, like, quaint little pub. Again, besides the card machines, it kind of feels like it's untouched by time. Like it has that nice.
Day, it's never
Old
too
school
busy
aesthetic.
either, from what I remember.
Weekdays pretty. Yeah, I think I've ever been there on the weekend. It's obviously crazy because everywhere in central London is crazy on like a Friday and Saturday. But weekdays, yeah, pretty chill. You'll get a spot upstairs for sure. Yeah, highly recommend. Beautiful spot. I've been there recently. Anyway, moving on. Let's go to the next segment, the fall of the House of Monty. We open up, and it's like the 1800s, old school. Mr. Burns is running a corn syrup lab.
It wouldn't be a Treehouse of Horror without Mr. Burns.
Well, Mr. Burns, you gotta get one of the creepy characters in there, either Kang and Kodos or Mr. Burns. Yeah, actually, no Kang and Kodos in this episode, was there?
Nope.
No, weird. There used to be like a rule in the earlier seasons that they had to appear at least once, but they kind of
Yeah.
take liberties now. Are like, we didn't find a good reason to have them in. We're just not going to do it this time, which is
That's
fine.
fair. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
fair.
It is what it is. It just like they're like the mascots of Treehouse of Horror because the characters wouldn't exist if not for Treehouse of Horror. But I only noticed now, having seen this episode twice, so like it's not that big a deal. But it's nice to have them in there whenever you can. But yeah, Smithers announces that work is done for the day, but work on Burns's mansion begins for the night. And Lenny says that his father and grandfather died in this place. We see their coffins. One is Leonard Sr., sawed in half, and Randall Sr. fell in concrete, pulled out as chemical statue. And Carol's just like, whoa, that's a lot to read. And I like that their coffins said how they died.
Yeah.
Imagine if Coffin said that.
Normally, if anything, the only
That'd be
thing they'll do
crazy.
is some kind of like small reference, like die doing what they love, or
Maybe,
like
yeah, yeah.
It's always like, like loving father, loving brother, or whatever. Maybe that would do what they love, but certainly not something horrible and graphic like fell into a vat of acid and came out as a chemical statue. I'd love it though. If Coffin said how someone died, I would be at a graveyard for hours, just like whoa. I'd be so fascinated.
I reckon yours will say died drinking. Died after a 20 pint night. Something.
Yeah, yeah.
Died after he went to West Little Sisters and sent down a slip of paper that said Guinness X100.
Yeah.
And they were like, okay, I guess. And just kept sending them up until I had cardiac arrest.
Love doing,
Yeah.
and you'll
Yes.
be forever remembered as a drinker, a top drinker.
You would be a legend. That would be an
You would be a
Arsenal lad
legend.
Bible.
Yeah, yeah.
Man dies after drinking 100 Guinness. Certified legend for life.
And a kebab.
That a kebab, yeah. What a geezer, mate. But Homer tells all of the workers to cheer up as tonight is their Thanksgiving dinner. We cut to dinner and Mr. Burns is like, oh, welcome to my elaborate, needlessly whimsical mansion. And a fabulous dinner is prepared, but Burns insists on doing a wishbone first. And if he wins, no more weekends or holidays. And if they win, they will get weekends and holidays. And then Willie insists on doing it, and he wins it, obviously, and sends Mr. Burns flying into the air like a feather. And then Burns pulls a rope, throwing all the food away. And then Mo jumps for it. He's like, oh no, my peas! And obviously dies on impact. He's like, oh, that was worth it. But then Agnes Skinner, who's his maid, says that a promise made on a wishbone can never be broken. And Mr. Burns is like, oh, that's an old wives' tale. Like, oh, this has nothing to do with our divorce. Which I thought that was a weird detail, that they were married, got divorced, but now she's his maid.
Yeah, really odd.
Yeah, imagine your maid. It was very Mr. Burns. But yeah, imagine your maid being your ex-wife, just still cleaning the house. But she says that he will be haunted by the ghosts of all the people he has wronged. Then Mr. Burns is like, oh, I remember why I married you. And they start making out. In the middle of making out, she's like, still cursed. And I'm just realizing 2 episodes in a row we had a bit of Agnes Skinner makeout time. I mean, I know it was months ago, but in Shoddy Heat, she made out with Grandpa.
That's a good point.
Yeah, that was a weird... We did not need that 2 episodes in a row. I will say that.
Probably not.
I,
Yeah, probably not.
I didn't feel that way, no. But both times were funny. And we cut to Homer back at the corn syrup place. He gets peckish for some corn syrup and he tries to get it out with a cup, but then falls into it. And in trying to escape, he pulls a lever that throws the syrup onto all of his colleagues.
Only Homer would actually want to consume corn syrup on its own. Do you know what I mean? It's obviously in all the sugary drinks and stuff, but
I know, yeah.
Consume it on its own.
On its own, he just wants the pure thing. Yeah, the man would eat sugar like soup if he had to, gladly. But then, as Burns prepares for bed, items start falling and breaking from his room.
Must have been the wind. Yes, an indoor wind. Completely natural. Supernatural, even. A pair of normal occurrences.
He wakes up to the ghost of Homer, and he starts running through the house, and he's jump scared by several employees. Mo pops up at one point and is like, where is my peas? And in all of this rage and panic, he kills his ex-wife, and he's completely indifferent to it. And he realizes that the only way to end the curse is by giving them their dinner. And he tries to feed them, but they only want his soul, so he throws himself into a fire. He's like, oh, you can't torment me if I'm dead. Oh, I forgot about hell. Then before the demons take him away, he's just like, cash bar at my funeral. I love that even as he's about to die, he's making sure his expenses aren't being tampered with too much.
I know, yeah. Everyone knows the best thing about funerals is free bar and food.
It's pretty great.
And
I know
I mean that with all respect. It is
Of all
obviously
respect.
the best part. Funerals aren't pleasant.
No.
I don't know if I spoke about this on the podcast before, but like Irish funerals are actually quite nice. Yeah. It's weird to say. Like obviously, like it's absolute misery to lose a loved one. But the fabulous thing about funerals is that everybody is just so candid. Like no one's putting up a facade. Because you're sad about losing someone, and on top of that, yeah, you get like all this free food and drink, so everyone's just like enjoying themselves and sharing memories about the person we lost, and it does make you bring you closer to the people you still have.
And then there's always someone to remind you when everyone's having too much fun that it's a funeral.
yeah, hey,
And then
guys,
there's
remember-
always a legend that will say it's what they would have wanted.
Yes, exactly, 100%. Shut the hell up and enjoy yourself. That is 100% what they would have wanted. Typically at an Irish funeral too, an older person will eventually start singing after a couple of drinks, and the songs are like in remembrance of the person that we lost, and everyone has to stop and listen as if that person is a good singer.
Yeah, of course.
Which is never the case. It's so bizarre, but it's fabulous, and I wouldn't have it any other way. But yeah, then Mr. Burns is now dead. They discover Burns' corpse. Sideshow Mel and Smithers discover Burns' corpse, and they decide to name this day, the day after Thanksgiving, they decide to call it Black Friday, a day that will serve as a reminder to never mistreat workers. Again, great little kind of political reference there. It's not that big of a deal here. People mostly do it online, but Black Friday in America is fucking anarchy.
Mate, I've seen videos.
It's horrible. People have died.
Yeah.
It's fucking
It's
horrific.
disgusting.
It is absolutely disgusting. Yeah, it is horrific.
A little sort of what do you call it? A little portal into showing how bad we actually are as people, and how
I know, yeah.
how
It
deep
really is.
consumerism
It really
has become.
Yeah.
You bring prices down 25%, and people are willing to trample over other human beings just to get a laptop. Like, yeah, it is truly horrific. Especially nowadays when you can literally do that on Amazon and other shopping websites. I don't get why people are still going out and getting the physical items. Like,
It's mad. I don't see the appeal. I don't see
No.
any sort of rush from that. Yeah.
not at all. Not worth saving money or whatever. Anyhow, jumping into our final segment, denim. Absolutely fantastic. Barney.
Very weird.
Oh yeah, really, really weird, experimental.
Not gonna lie, I'm gonna say this before we've spoken about it, but
Yeah.
I didn't like the animation.
Oh really? I loved it.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it's worth mentioning since you brought it up. Yeah, the denim pants in this episode in this segment is animated by Stupid Monkey Studios, which is Seth Green's studio that originated with Robot Chicken. And huge success from that show, has collaborated with Simpsons many times, has worked on many other projects, obviously the studio. Personally, I thought it was great, but yeah, we'll jump into it. Barney and Homer are at a shop looking for different jeans. The shop called Pants for the Amply Rumped, and Barney tells Homer that he should try jeans if he wants to have a chance with that cute waitress. And we see Marge is across the way waiting tables at a place called Herb's Non-Canonical Diner, which I loved. I always love little like episodes where we see like a different world, a different universe of The Simpsons. So yeah, obviously in this world, Homer and Marge aren't together. Bart and Lisa don't exist, and Maggie. Homer doesn't think there's a pair of pants in the universe that would make him have a chance. That would make him have Marge give him the time of day. And then outside the store, all these electrical pulses start flaring, and a portal appears, and a pair of moving jeans come out. Homer tries them on, and he's like, "Whoa, I can see where my butt ends and my legs begin," which I never really realized. Yeah, every Simpsons character, there's no definition there. It's just like their ass is a part of their leg.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah, it's so good. He then goes to the diner, and the jeans tell him to tell Marge how attractive he finds her. Her vulnerable, uncovered legs. But then Snake enters the store, and he's like, "I'll take all the cash in the register." And is that a chocolate chip scone? And he's like, "Raisin." I'm like, "Whoa, no, just the cash." And the jeans tackle him to the ground. The cops arrive, but the jeans, and obviously Homer as well, start to flee. And Denham tells Homer, obviously this is a parody of Venom in case anyone hasn't realized that yet. Denham tells Homer that he traveled here from his home planet as he's in the throes of a climate catastrophe and they need a human host to survive on this planet. And he says that if he hosts him, he'll give him the thing he wants most. And we then cut to Marge on a dance floor. And Homer goes up and is like, would you like to dance with me? And he's like, well, you did save my life, but no thank you. And the Denham starts dancing for Homer. It's absolutely fantastic, but obviously only from the pants. And Marge is like, oh, I didn't even bother to look at your top hat, but I'm sure it was just as good. And Denham says to Dipper, he's like, I only know how to dip chips. We then cut to them back at Homer's place. Marge tries and struggles to get his pants off. And but the pants says that if he's disconnected, he'll perish.
You got me this far. Why don't you let her get to the good stuff?
I cannot be disengaged from my host for long or I'll perish. But don't worry, I will help you complete your mating ritual.
That was the most amazing outer course of my life.
Well, I like to think I'm something of an expert at friction-based rub-a-dub.
You are.
We then cut to 2 months later. Marge tells Homer that it bothers her that they've been stuck between second and third base. And he tries to tell her what happened when the genes start to walk away. We then cut to Mose. Homer tells Denham that he thinks it's time for him to try on other pants. He says that no one will, the Denham says that no one will flatter his ass like he does. And then Homer goes, I'm going to silence his voice the only way I know how. And he starts drinking. And while he's passed out on his bed, Marge takes off his pants and puts on new ones. And he wakes up him wearing the new pants. And he's shocked. And then Denham comes out of the washing machine. And Homer's like, oh, these dockers meant nothing. They came on to me. And he goes back onto Homer. Then tries to kill Marge. And he's like, run, Marge, run for my pants. And he stabs the Denham. Then obviously, as in doing so, stabs his own leg as well. And he flees onto the streets, the pants does, and he goes on to Selma. And he's like, oh, so hairy, like being on a sweaty cactus. He goes on to Disco Stew, and Disco Stew is like, these are not my moves, man. And he goes on to Marge, walks up a wall, and passes a Spit Takers Anonymous meeting. And their counselor's like, don't do it. Great gag. And then Homer says that he'll never let anything get between them again and that he can't live without them. And then Marge is like, oh, homie, I love you too. And Homer's like, yeah, I was actually talking to the pants. And then the Jeans goes, yes, thank you, Jeanses. So fucking stupid, but it made me laugh. That he worships a god called Jeanses. And we cut to Homer and Denham gaming together. And there's clearly some tension there. And then Denham just goes, have you stopped following her on Facebook? And Homer's like, yes. No. Well, thank you for being honest. And it ends with a portal opening up, and we see a bunch of genes are going into Earth. And that concludes the 35th Treehouse of Horror.
Yeah, that does conclude it indeed.
Indeed. And as always, I'll let you go first.
Thank you. I don't know why I'm being so formal.
No, thank you very much for that.
I feel like this is never formal.
No, the formal thing on Earth.
Yeah, probably.
Possibly.
I was not too happy with
Yeah, I
this.
feel like from what you said earlier, it's like we had slightly different feelings. But again,
Don't
after
get
you.
me wrong, there were moments I enjoyed.
Yeah.
My main complaint is with every Treehouse of Horror, there's normally a light-hearted one, and there's normally one that's actually genuinely creepy.
Yes.
This didn't have any of that. I don't really think there was I would make the argument that maybe the last one was the most creepy because it was so weird, but there was no really properly creepy one, which they have been really good at. And in the last two we've done, they've been fantastic, like the It one.
Fantastic.
But there were some good moments. I'll do the not so good moments first, and I'll go into the good ones. So I feel like there was a heavy reliance on parody. Some segments feel more like references than original ideas. And I think The Simpsons are so good at taking references but making something of their own.
Yeah,
They all of them, to be honest, felt a bit rushed, underdeveloped.
yeah, yeah.
I'd make the
Agree.
argument that Homer was maybe too predictable in this one. And then
In Denim.
yes, yeah, yeah, a bit too predictable. And
Hmm.
I think, yeah, the less genuine horror elements in this one. Um, that
Yeah.
being said, the visual gags really good, very inventive. I
Mm.
think speaking generally, the one with the jeans, probably a lot of people will enjoy how cool that
Yes.
animation was, and I can respect it for
Uh,
that. It just wasn't for me.
sure.
Um, the Lisa focused storytelling,
The information
um,
page.
yeah,
Yeah.
it felt uh more coherent and engaging than the other ones, to be honest. I think
Mm.
that was just the strong point.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
yeah, like with the final segment with the jeans, it was good because it that felt the most Treehouse of Horror.
Oh
Um,
yeah, for sure.
and yeah, there was good meta humor in there if people were big fans of the show, like jokes about the show's longevity and modern trends and everything, which
Certainly.
landed quite well. So yeah,
Yeah.
overall, not really for me, not as good as the last few, and they've been really strong the last few years.
Yeah.
But yeah, just
Agreed.
not for me overall.
What about the Fall of the House of Monty? You didn't say much about that one.
I didn't know what to think because I was so
I
happy
agree.
that it was a Mr. Burns centered one.
Yeah.
But like I said with the other ones, it just felt too rushed.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I
Yeah.
did that one especially, I think, doesn't really go anywhere.
Hmm.
The animation is good, and I liked like the ghost and this old school 18th century. It looks beautiful, but there's no substance to
Definitely.
it. Yeah. Let's do our rankings before I give my take. Is personally, I would go Denim, The Information Rage, and The Fall of the House of Monty.
I would agree with you. As much as
Oh, really?
I didn't, the animation wasn't for me. It was the best story.
Oh, okay.
So
I
yeah,
thought
I
maybe you
agree.
preferred the information rage. Yeah.
No.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Yeah, so for me, I actually thought Denim was fantastic. I loved Denim. Um, yeah, I thought it was a great segment, well written. Thought the animation was great. Um, yeah, you're totally right. It felt the most like a Treehouse of Horror. Like a lot of Treehouse of Horrors, including the best ones, are parodies, and sometimes people criticize that they were like too much in parodies these days. But like people's favorite ones are parodies of horror films, like The Shining being the most blatant example. And I thought Denim was fantastic. Yeah, it really felt like a proper Treehouse of Horror, and was a great to have that one be the last one because personally for me it left it on a good feeling, on a good note. But yes, that being said, I thought the other two weren't that strong at all. Um, yeah, Information Rage was like well written, fun political commentaries in there, but I do feel like we get that enough in regular Simpsons episodes. Those commentaries that
Yeah.
I didn't feel like I needed it in a Treehouse of Horror.
I would
Uh,
say as well with the denim one, many
yeah.
years ago, I feel like that would have been the first segment of a Treehouse of
Yeah.
Horror rather than the last one.
That's a fair point. Yeah, they knew it was the best one, so they threw it at the end. Yeah, yeah. Information Rage. Yeah, like it was interesting, some good stuff in there, but ultimately, like it just didn't do a whole lot for me. Like it had clever commentary, but also kind of obvious commentary. Like, yeah, we all agree that the best way to to make things work out is to celebrate our differences rather than judging, criticizing our differences. But everyone feels that way already. Not everyone, obviously, because otherwise things would be different. But like, it's not a new take.
No, definitely not.
Yeah, you know what I mean. But you know, there's definitely a lot more going on there than there was in the For the House of Monty. Yeah, like I already said, I thought it had a lot of potential, but it just kind of didn't go anywhere. Um, so yeah, okay, we had the same rankings. Yeah, I would definitely would agree with you. It's not the worst Treehouse of Horror, but it's not far off.
Right. Yeah, agreed.
Unfortunately, it's probably like it's definitely bottom tier.
Definitely.
Yeah, but I do think Denim gives it a lot, for me anyway, gave it a lot of points and brought it up. That they had one segment that I thought was fantastic. But yeah, unfortunately, that's only one out of three. The other two do fall a little bit short. But yeah, anyhow, moving on. Let's do a little bit of news first, as we always do. Yeah. Yeah, just one piece of news in the past week. I mentioned that interview with Matt Selman, and I'd highly recommend it. It was an extended interview on the Associated Press's YouTube channel, just celebrating the show's 800th episode. But in that, he gets asked if he sees an end in sight, and I love what he said. He just goes, personally, I don't see any end coming. That is not what I'm working towards. That's not what I'm working for the show for. I'm working for the show to extend its longevity. The writers are consistently coming up with new ideas. The potential for new stories in this world is endless. And there are still so many ideas that we have in the writers' room that we just haven't gotten to yet, and I'm very excited. Yeah, just love that little statement there. He's fantastic. I love what Matt Selman has been kind of doing for the show. And yeah, that is all the news. So let's jump on over to Seb's Classics.
Hey, here we go. So
Yeah,
I've
yeah.
gone for Mountain of Madness, season 8.
Just fantastic.
Yeah, standout episode from
Amazing.
that season as well,
Oh,
which
yeah.
I'm really surprised I hadn't addressed yet.
I actually had to double check. I was like,
Yeah.
we
I was
surely did
almost
it before.
certain.
And no, he didn't. Yeah.
I was almost certain. I
I
came
know.
across it because I was watching A Star Is Burns again.
Oh yeah, so
Because
good.
you can't go wrong.
No, so
And
good.
yeah, I was just browsing, and I went to season 8, and I was like, I haven't watched that one in a while. So it was natural. I didn't just pick it out.
Yeah, that's so cool. Yeah, I like that. It's gonna
Mr.
happen
Burns,
gradually,
he
naturally.
forces his employees into a brutal mountain retreat to determine the company's best worker. What begins as competitive
Because
climb quickly spirals into chaos.
So good, because at the beginning they had that fire drill that was handled so badly.
Yeah.
That whole sequence is so funny. They're all in panic, but they're not leaving the building, and he's outside timing it, and he's like, the Smithers like, oh, what is the usual evacuation for a fire drill, Smithers? And he's like, 45 seconds. He's like, and how long has this been? I don't know. The stopwatch doesn't go past 15 minutes. And the first person to go out is Homer. And for some reason, he puts a chair on the door so nobody else can get out.
Fair play.
It's so
No one else
funny.
can win.
It didn't even seem like he
after-
thought that was a bad thing. He just thought that was a thing that you were supposed to do.
Anyhow, continue.
Yeah, after an avalanche, Homer Simpson and Waylon Smithers, full name, became trapped in a snowed-in cabin. Their uneasy alliance, driven by survival, creates this episode's core dynamic, balancing tension with absurd humor, very absurd humor.
Oh yeah.
Meanwhile, the rest of the employees devolve into a near-feral mob as competition intensifies. Brilliant episode. I didn't want to sort of like
Okay.
break down the whole thing. I just wanted to sum it up because, like I always
It's
say,
kind of simple
most
anyway.
people have watched this episode. I'm assuming that would be listening, just in case they haven't.
Totally.
Again, I don't really have any problems with the episode. Like it's near
No.
perfect.
That's great.
I could maybe argue it needed a bit more emotional depth to the episode, but I don't really care.
No,
It
because
was
the
so
guys are just
fun.
good.
Like, and yeah, it was a fairly quick resolution, but again, I didn't care. It's just it felt like in the nicest way possible, like Family Guy, in the sense of you don't really care about the emotions, you just want quick.
Because the
sort of
gags are so
gags.
good.
Yeah.
You're having a consistently fun time. Like, yeah, you're not that concerned about the emotional stakes. Although I would argue they are there a little bit, because you are like, I genuinely have no idea how they're going to get out of this. Especially the second time when they're stuck in the cabin, when Homer crawls them out, and then fucking idiots don't wait until they're fully out to celebrate. They're like, oh yeah. Yippee! And they high five, and then the avalanche falls onto them. At that point, genuinely, I find that quite scary. You know, when they're talking to each other, and you keep hearing more avalanches happen when they're hiding under the table. Yeah, there is a little bit of stakes there, and when they're both staring at each other, and they're nearly naked because they put all their clothes on the snowmen for losing their minds.
It's like Homer rubbed off on Smithers, and
You mean Mr. Burns?
sorry, yeah, Mr. Burns, my
Yeah,
bad.
yeah.
And
And Mr.
yeah,
Burns rubbed off
it's
on
it's also
Homer a little bit.
like you do always get the Mr. Burns and Homer things going on, but it's rare to see like a full episode of just them two. It's quite nice.
Yeah, no, it's brilliant. Like, it was literally just them, yeah, and it was so cool to see their dynamic in that way and how they come to Oz and how they kind of learn to work together too. And that sequence is so brilliant when they're imagining the battle and Mr. Burns.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mr. Burns has all the snowmen charging for Homer, and Homer has a political army, and Lincoln and Gandhi are in there. Burns is terrified of them because they're noblemen. Yeah, the whole sequence is brilliant. But yeah, in regards to the gags, so many great gags throughout the episode.
Yeah, think unsexy thoughts. That's probably
It's so good, yeah. One thing that went over my head previously watching it that I thought was so great watching it today, this morning, was the Ranger. He has so many funny moments.
Yeah, that's a good point.
He's so funny. When the family first arrives and Mr. Burns is like, you weren't supposed to bring your family, Homer. This is a trip for men. We're meant to be put in danger. And Marge's like, oh, don't worry, kids. This is a mountain range. There'll be plenty of fun stuff to do here. And the ranger comes up and he's like, actually, due to budget cuts, we've gotten rid of anything that is even the least bit entertaining. And there's the bit where Marge loses the kids and the ranger takes her on that ski thing to go find them. But then they find the two kids in Smithers midway there. And Marge's like, oh, let me off here. And it's like, oh, we can only get off at the top. And she's like, oh, it's just I'm concerned for their safety. And he's like, we should be more concerned for our safety. And the thing starts to break. And he's like, are you any good at welding? And my favorite moment for him was when they go to a different cabin because obviously they can't find the cabin that Homer and Mr. Burns are in. But it's actually a cabin that the Ranger's work in. And the Ranger comes up and he's like, where's Ranger McFadden? And a drunk guy comes up and he's like, I just wanted to celebrate. It's so nice to be around all these people. And you think that's the Ranger? And he's like, I need to see Ranger McFadden. And then a Ranger comes up who's totally sober. He's like, oh, I'm right here behind that drunk man.
Yeah, it's great.
Just such a dumb gag. It's also one of those episodes that it's so impressive how much they managed to fit into 20 minutes because you kind of have 4 different storylines going on. You have Homer and Mr. Burns' story. You have Smithers' story with the 2 kids. The 2 kids are pissing him off, and Lisa keeps coming up with different animals that are like slightly in trouble. And Smithers is like, oh, is there any animal in these mountains that isn't in trouble? And then when they go to the cabin at the end and they're trying to get warm, so they like grab the head of a dead moose and throw it into the fire. Lisa's like, Mr. Smithers, that moose is in trouble. But yeah, you have that story. You have Marge's story with the Ranger. And you also have a little side story with Lenny and Carl as well.
That's a really good point. Yeah, literally
4 stories going on, yeah.
So it's a fantastic episode,
good.
and I hope it inspires people to maybe go back to it and then give it a go.
I hope so. Season 8, as I always say, is my favorite season of the show, and this episode is definitely a crowning example of why I love the season, because what it does so well is they put characters in... Well, what season 8 does so well is that they put characters in different situations that we haven't seen them in before, and kind of highlights them in a different way. Because, like, okay, we have Mr. Burns and Homer, 2 characters that we love dearly, but we haven't seen them both confined and stuck in a room together. And what's that like, you know? Yeah.
It's brilliant.
It's done so well. I love the little side story, Lenny and Carl, as well. Is that Carl is pissed off with Lenny the whole time. It's so good. When Smithers is like doing calling out the names at the beginning, and he's like, okay, like he's pairing up people randomly. He's like, okay, and Lenny will go with Carl. And Carl's like, God. And Lenny like looks upset and he's like, God. And then when the avalanche happens, and Lenny's like, did you hear something? And Carl's like, no. Like, did I? Like, I don't know. He's just so pissed off at him the whole time. So funny. But yeah, fantastic episode. Great gags from start to finish. And yeah, again, just like great writing. How they managed to fit in so much into 20 minutes is genuinely really impressive. And totally. And none of those 4 stories felt wasted either. Like, none of them felt like they didn't have enough time. They all had the right amount of time, I felt like. Yeah,
I agree.
brilliant, fantastic episode. Alrighty, 3 more segments left. Let's jump into. I quite missed this segment, but it also terrifies me because my last 2 or 3 were not great. It's 10 questions, baby.
Yes,
Really bad.
10 questions. So Seb has a Simpsons character in mind. Dylan has 10 questions that he may use to guess the character. He can use a question to make a guess. So on his 10th question, it has to be a guess at the character.
Indeed. All right, here we go. As always, just in case, is it a member of the family?
No.
Is it
I will never do that. It's a waste of a question. I might do it actually one day to throw you off.
That's the thing. I feel like you might. So it's just a good little Kickstarter, I think, to put things together. Because there's also characters. There's Simpsons family members who aren't the main 5. You know, you could do Mona Simpson or someone. Anyways, is it a male?
Yes.
God, never helps when it's a male. It's 90% of the characters. It always narrows it down so much faster if it's a female. Does the character live in Springfield?
Yes.
Yes. Is the character in over 100 episodes?
No.
No, okay. Is the character in more than 1 episode?
Yes.
Yes. Would I associate the character with any family member? You know what I mean? As a friend or a colleague of one of them.
Good question. Yeah, you probably would associate them with one specific character.
Okay. I probably should have asked which one. Was that my 6th question?
You just asked your 6th. Yeah.
You just asked my 6th question. Would I associate that character mainly with Homer?
Nope.
No. I don't want to waste it just asking the 3 other family members and I have no questions left. Fuck. I'm gonna, I don't know why I'm feeling this. Does the character work in the school?
Nope.
No. Is the character voiced by one of the main cast members?
Yes.
Yes. Well.
One more question
I got
and you
nothing.
can make a guess.
Yes.
Thanks. I think that was always the case anyway. Where's voiced by a main cast member, not Homer. I would assume Bart or Lisa. There's not that many people you'd associate with Marge.
I'll give you a clue.
Yeah.
He doesn't associate with one of them.
He doesn't.
No, he associates with a character, but not with one of the main family members. Not with Homer, Marge, Lisa, Bart, etc.
But you said he did earlier.
I thought you just said, does he associate with a character?
I meant one of the main family.
Oh.
If that wasn't what I said. My bad.
I'll knock it down to you've asked 7 then.
Thanks. Due to confusion. All right, so I have 3 questions left. All right, this might help me. You associate with a character. Is he fat?
No.
No. He's a skinnier guy. There's a lot of fat men in Springfield. That does
narrow it down.
That does help, yeah. Gosh. You said he associated with a... Is he an older man?
Yes.
Older. So he's not like Homer's age. He's older.
No, he's older.
He's old. Last question. Does he have an actual name?
No.
The old Jewish man.
Yes, well done. Oh, that was clutch. You just got that.
That was so close. Well, you know what actually happened is when you said that you wouldn't associate it with one of the main family members, my brain then went to Grandpa,
Yeah.
which I'm guessing is
And
what
then
you meant.
obviously,
He has like two friends, which is Jasper and the old Jewish guy. So I guess when you knew it
The
wasn't
Jewish
a
guy.
guy that has a name, yeah. Also known as Crazy Guy or Crazy Old Man.
Yeah, I think he never had a name. Then it kind of just became he became immortalized as the old Jewish man.
yeah.
He fits any description really. A very very funny character. Sweet, yeah. That was I feel I know I got an extra bump there, but I do feel some victory. I feel like I'm back on top a little bit. That's a good feeling.
No, well done. Well, you did deserve it. I did mess up with it.
That's okay. Thank you very much. Sweet. Let's jump on over to our recommendations then.
Yes.
Yeah.
We'll try this.
Yes. You go on go.
Do we do it? Do we do it on? It's been so long. Do we do it on shoot?
We do it on shoot. I'm pretty sure. Yeah. Let's do it on
Okay.
shoot today anyway.
All right.
So, rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Oh,
Yeah.
boom. Hey. Yeah. So I was kind of thinking about it's been so long since we recorded. I was thinking, should I give something that I loved recently, or like what have I really loved in the past 6 months of recording? And I decided to go with that. Then it's like a more meaningful recommendation. So I just kind of thought of like the two best things I had seen or read in that space of time. First thing, super popular film. So maybe it's silly to recommend it, but it's genuinely one of my favorite movies ever. I've seen it twice, and I think I will see it again and again. Hamnet is a fucking masterpiece. Have you seen it?
Really?
Yeah. Oh, you haven't?
No.
Oh, Hamnet is a fucking masterpiece.
Nope.
I like One Battle After Another. I personally think that movie should have won Best Picture. Jesse Buckley, well-deserved Oscar win. Paul Mescal, absolutely snubbed. Didn't really even get nominated for a lot of awards. I don't know why. He was tremendous as Shakespeare. It's just a beautiful story. Do you know anything about it?
Yeah, I do.
You do. I won't say too much. I feel like everyone at least knows the story if they haven't seen the movie. But yeah, it's about the passing of Shakespeare and his wife's son Hamnet, and he died at a very young age, which obviously was a very common thing in these times. You know, if you get any sort of sickness, that's just it. There wasn't medical treatment, and the sadness and the grief of losing his son inspired Shakespeare to write Hamlet, and it's a beautiful showcase of grief, and how it captures grief is just so pure and blunt and honest, but also like beautiful, and then also a lovely showcase of like how we use art to express things that are hard to just say in our regular mundane lives. And yeah, it's a really beautiful film. I think it's absolutely fabulous. I think it's maybe my top 10 favorite films of all time. I really really love it, and I would recommend it
Wow.
to
That's some
everybody.
recommendation.
Yeah, I would recommend it to everybody because
Wow.
everyone's experienced grief. Everyone will relate to this movie, I think. And it's just a fabulously made film, and that's all I have to say. I highly recommend.
Okay.
Yeah,
Fair enough. Yeah, you sold me.
beautiful movie. Thank you. Yeah,
Movies, so I won't go
Nice.
really into them, but I've been
Sure.
on a bit of a movie binge recently, and a
Brilliant.
couple standouts. The second movie I have watched a few times before, but first movie I only just watched the first time the other day, and that's Fury, with Brad Pitt, Shia
Fury,
LaBeouf.
Brad Pitt. We actually that years ago when it came out. Yeah,
Excellent movie. It's about a tank squad
great film.
in World War II. In
Mm,
particular, Shia LaBeouf really stands out for me in this movie. I'm a big
he
Shia LaBeouf
does.
fan. I know he's problematic as a
He's a fantastic
person, but
actor.
he just is an
He
unbelievable
is.
actor, and the character suits him really well,
He
like a
is.
very intense, almost like preacher-like character. And yeah, really
Mm,
fun movie. Sad moments, funny moments, eerie moments. I loved it personally.
yeah.
And
Mm.
my second movie is none other than Daniel Day-Lewis's There Will Be Blood, which I watched
God, yeah, I
again
haven't
the other
seen that in
day.
years either.
Oh my
So good.
goodness, what an amazing movie. Just like
Mm-hmm.
it's got everything. You don't even realize it's 2.5 hours. You're just so hooked. And
No.
obviously Daniel Day-Lewis is a boss. Like he owns everything he acts in. Not sorry, not
Oh yeah.
yeah, sorry, yeah. Paul Thomas Anderson's movie, Daniel Day-Lewis plays the main character. Oh
Yeah.
yeah, amazing movie. Probably one of the best acting performances I've ever seen.
He's tremendous. Yeah, the milkshake scene.
Yeah.
And hey, look, this is old news. And I love Quentin Tarantino, but fuck you. Paul Dano rocks.
I hated that. I was thinking about that when I watched the movie. I just thought, how can you think this guy's shit? He's phenomenal.
Like what? He fucking rocks. I love
Yeah.
Paul Leo, and he's fantastic in that movie. He plays that character. How else should you have played that character? He's meant to be feeble and weak.
I know. Yeah, and he plays
You
it
know?
to a T. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like this amazing director didn't understand that that's the way the character was meant to be played.
I feel like he made a criticism and then felt he had to double down.
Yeah, clearly, and reap the consequences of that. I also love Matthew Lillard, who was the other actor that he
Yes,
shot on. I think
brilliant.
Matthew Lillard is also fantastic and underrated.
But yeah, cool. Yeah, I mean, both absolutely great films I've seen before. I also feel the need to mention this because you didn't mention it earlier in Fury. John Bernthal is also great in that. I think he's amazing.
Yeah, excellent.
And you also, in regards to Shia LaBeouf being so good in that, do you know about the method thing he did for that movie?
No.
He didn't shower.
Really?
Yeah, and Brad Pitt
Oh,
said that it
God.
was fucking horrific. But
To share a tank with him.
yeah, exactly. But he was like, if I'm a soldier, I'm not going to get any time to shower. Or how am I cleaning myself? He didn't bathe the whole time they were filming.
Man.
Absolutely insane, but hey, it probably helped. Yeah, cool. And my final recommendation is a book I read that my girlfriend recommended to me, and yeah, it is absolutely amazing. It's written by David Nichols, who is best known for One Day, because that was turned into a very popular show on Netflix a few years ago. But this book is called You Are Here. Absolutely fabulous, really simple story. It's about this these gang of friends, older friends, all in their 40s, going on like a big hiking trip across the southern part of the UK. Big long mountain trip, but it focuses mainly on two characters, Michael and Marnie, and they're both recently divorced, and they slowly fall in love with each other over the course of this mountain trip. And not that big of a spoiler because it happens pretty early on in the book. Eventually the other friends leave due to other commitments or just not enjoying the hike, but Michael and Marnie both want to stay on and finish the whole thing, so they end up finishing it together. And they both had like really rough divorces, and they slowly kind of gain affection for each other. What the book does so beautifully is that it's so realistic, because I know I pitched it to you just there and you're probably thinking like that sounds like a bit of a romantic comedy that wouldn't happen in real life, but it doesn't actually they don't fully fall in love, they don't fully it doesn't end and they're like a married couple now. Like, it's really realistic that it all happens super gradually, but you absolutely fall in love with them, and they do like little flashbacks as well to see like how their previous relationships ended and other rough things that happen in their lives. So they clearly become a peace and a comfort for each other, and they really needed this time of disconnecting from technology and their own lives. And they're just beautifully developed characters. I think Marnie, the female, is one of my favorite characters I have ever read in the book. She's funny, she's ambitious, but she's also really sweet. And you know, when someone is just like so three-dimensional in a book is so impressive.
Definitely.
Yeah, and I just ate this book up. It was such a fabulous read. I couldn't recommend it enough. Yeah. Yeah, as I said, I was thinking like what were the two things that like really stuck with me in the past 6 months, and that was Hamnet and You Were Here. So yeah, Hamnet is kind of if you haven't seen it, you at least know it's good. Most people know are meaning to watch it, but this book wouldn't be as well known. It's not even David Nichols' best known book, but yeah, You Are Here, fabulous. Great book just for anyone who reads fiction and anyone who likes romance. Yeah, absolutely. You will love this book. Yeah, it was great.
Nice.
Cool. Yeah, sweet, man. Yeah, let's move over to the questions.
Oh.
Wrapping it up there. They're both Simpsons related questions. Just to try and mix things up a bit, I have one from a guy called Simpsons Addicts and another one from a guy called Pop Culture Pedestal. Whose question would you like to hear first?
Let's go for Simpsons Addicts.
Simpsons Addicts.
first.
Yeah, well, as you can imagine from a name like that, he asks it's a pretty great question. A well written question. He just goes, the term jerk ass Homer is a controversial one. Do you think it holds any merit? And when was Homer the biggest jerk? Kind of two questions in there.
That is a great question.
Great question. Yeah.
I personally, I'm not a fan of the saying.
Me too, yeah.
I think
Controversial for a reason.
it just is his character. I think he's always had jerk elements, but the
Absolutely.
point is I don't think he is a jerk because he's not malicious
No.
in
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
Probably I don't think I have like a top moment where he was the biggest jerk. That's hard to choose. But maybe just for how much it stands out and how big it is, maybe for the Simpsons movie.
Yeah, I was going to say the exact same thing. And I think the Simpsons movie for a good reason. Like, yes, I would say that is the most blatant example of him being a piece of shit. Because he is a piece of shit for like half of that film, maybe more than half. He doesn't really come around until the family leaves and marriage leaves that video. Which is, yeah, probably like approaching the end, really. Yeah, he's a piece of shit for most of that movie, but you need that for a longer narrative, a 90-minute movie. You need the character to start off at a place of weakness to then redeem himself towards the end. So, yeah, that probably is the most blatant example of him being an asshole. Another one that comes to mind is the one where he's meant to give Grandpa his kidney, but he runs away because he gets scared.
Oh, yeah.
So he risks his father's life. That one sticks out quite a bit as well. That's in season 12. It's called Homer Simpson and Kidney Trouble. That one sticks out to me a lot as well. That he literally risked his father's life because he was scared about getting his kidney removed.
Yeah.
But it's also him being kind of stupid too, because Homer's an idiot and he like that. That's a pretty foolproof surgery, but he just got anxious about it and didn't want to lose a kidney.
Exactly, it's not malicious.
No, yeah, he's just but you're right. Like I don't like the term jerk ass Homer either because I feel like it's a term that people who shit on the later seasons use. They're like, oh, the show's so bad. Oh, Homer's not even likable anymore. He's a piece of shit. It doesn't come from a well-researched place. And yeah, well, like you said, he's always had jerk elements. He's selfish. He goes out to a pub every night rather than spending time with his family. He strangles his son. Like, that has all been there from the beginning of the show. So yeah, he definitely can and always has been able to be a jerk. That is the main plot. If Homer's the main character, him being a dick is going to play into that episode. Yeah. Either him being a bit of a dick or him just being stupid. Like, to be fair, the one we just did, Mountains of Madness, I don't really think he's a jerk in that. He's just a bit of a dimwit. But if he's the lead, you have episodes like Douglas where he tries to quit beer for marriage, but he keeps sneaking the beer. Like, that one came to my head. That's in season 4. He's a dick in that episode for quite a bit, So yeah, I personally don't think the term holds any real merit. I think he's always been that way. He's always had that in his character for sure. Great question. Thank you, Simpsons Addicts. Pop culture pedestal. A simpler question, but an interesting one. Is he just goes thoughts on the movie getting pushed back. So if you don't know, the film was originally meant to come out in July next year, 2027. It's now coming out in September 2027.
Don't care. To be honest, we've been waiting so long anyway. What's a few more months, and it's probably for good reason. So yeah, I personally am not fussed at all.
Yeah, I'm sure. I will say, I don't really care either. Like, it's only 3 months, whatever. If it was a year or something, I might be upset, but it's only 3 months. The one thing that was cool about the original release date is that it was exactly 20 years after the release of the first movie.
That is nice.
That would have been cool, yeah. The fact that it's only 3 months also makes me think that it's not actually a decision that the writers or the animators or the producers made. I feel like it's a studio thing.
Probably.
Because if it was the case that they needed more time, they would have pushed it back way further. Like, 3 months isn't going to do much. So I'm guessing it's a studio thing. They Fox or Disney or whatever, for some reason, think it's better for it to come out in September rather than June. I know that the original release day was the same date that the second Minecraft movie was coming out, so maybe they don't want to be competing with that. Yeah, it is what it is. I might be wrong, but I feel like when it's that small, it's probably not to do with the production of the movie. Because like Shrek 5 got pushed back by a whole year recently, and that has to be to do with production stuff, you know?
For sure.
Yeah, but when it's only 3 months, it makes me go, it's probably just the studio being like, it will be a bigger success if it comes out here, I'm guessing. So yeah, it is what it is. Like I thought it was cool to have it be exactly 20 years after the first movie, but like it's not going to make a difference in the grand scheme of things. Yeah, oh well, exactly. Like whatever. It's literally only 3 months. So yeah, my feelings about it are like whatever. We'll get it when we get it. I'm very excited. And it'll be before we know it. I mean, September 2027 will be before we know it. So
We'll have to review it.
Super excited. Oh, 100% we'll do a podcast for that. We'll have to. It'll be a titan of a podcast. Maybe 2 or 3 parts. But yeah, that'll be great. Sweet. And I think that's pretty much everything I've had to say ever in my entire life.
All she wrote.
That is all she wrote. Murder She Wrote. Angela Lansbury. Rest in peace. Some people say I'm the reincarnation of Angela Lansbury.
I see it.
Yeah, which makes no sense because she died when I was already born. I definitely see it. Stay tuned for the Murder She Wrote reboot starring me. I think wouldn't be controversial at all to replace a part that was originally played by an older woman with a young man. That would not be one bit controversial. Murder He Wrote.
Yeah.
I'll leave you guys on that very exciting announcement, and we'll catch you all very soon.